And welcome into this UMass broadcast here at Rudd Field, where the UMass Minutemen will take on the Clemson Tigers. Good day, and I am Nick McGann, one of the two commentators, joined by Carolyn Methy. Carolyn, how are you doing today?
Great, Nick. How are you?
Good. This is perfect soccer weather here in Massachusetts. Finally, the temperatures have dropped. Nice, cloudy, overcast day. Perfect day for playing soccer here at Rudd Field. And on the other side, Clemson selected second in the ACC Atlantic Division preseason poll out of 6 teams, behind only Wake Forest, who made it to the NCAA quarterfinals. And we saw this with the last game UMass played at home 2 games ago against Bryant, where the midfield was a little more congested and really no one could really claim clear possession. We'll see if that changes against the ACC opponent, against the Clemson Tigers. Trey Miller once again with the ball. Trey Miller comes to us from the New England Revolution Academy, playing with them from 2012 to 2017 with over 75 caps during 5 seasons. The fan section for UMass giving a little bit of some slander, some digs at the away team, the Clemson Tigers. Pretty full crowd here today at Rudd Field.
I do see a lot of orange shirts and hats out there as well.
It does feel to be the Clemson Tigers fans have traveled to Massachusetts, this being the second game in the state of Massachusetts. Most recently, they just played Boston College just a couple days ago, but we'll get into more of that later, as someone for Clemson is down. And if he could have gotten that header just a little more into the box with the height that Davis Smith has, maybe could have gotten a header on it, get a touch, get a glancing blow on it. Yosuke Hanya with the ball now, one of the faster players, a lot of pace for UMass. Pretty good placement. Sami Asamoah will come down with it. The ref will say play on. Yosuke, coming from Tokyo, Japan, in his first year with the Minutemen, has really been a good change of pace player for them. Brown will pass the ball out to number 8, McCleary. Back with Hamill. Brown almost on it again. Pass picked out by the Tigers. A little bit of fancy footwork to get it to a Clemson-friendly foot. The big rule of goalkeeping, Caroline, as everyone knows, put your body in front of the ball.
Definitely.
No legs open. You don't want to get nutmegged. As long as you put as much of your body in front of the ball as possible, make yourself big, that's how you stop the balls. Goalkeeping 101.
The more you know.
The more you know, indeed. Bit of contact there. The referee will have a word with Jack Fulton. We'll see if it's just a word. Looks to be just a talking to. Stern talking to. The ref will say, no more of that, Jack. Bring on play. No cards. And this defense seems to just smother these last-second chances. Clemson's doing everything they can, throwing every body part, every player. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink and still can't get a goal, Caroline.
Honestly.
And let's take a quick look at the A10 standings. We have Rhode Island, Fordham, St. Joseph's, and VCU currently in the top 4. Rhode Island sitting with an impressive 5-0 record with wins against BU, Penn State, Holy Cross, Marist, and Bryant. UMass is currently sitting in 7th place, with Duquesne and George Mason rounding out the list at the bottom of the conference table. The Patriots just won their first game of the season just yesterday with a thrilling 5-4 double overtime victory against Gardner-Webb at home. He doesn't seem to be lingering on any specific body part. I think Coach O'Leary is just talking to him, making sure. Probably looks to be with something with the head. You see when you try to have your 2 fingers one side, make sure the eyes follow. But UMass will be playing a man down for a brief period of time. They don't want to bring in a sub for Fulton. They want him back in there if they can get him in there. So UMass will be down for a little bit. Trey Miller will gather it. Now, if we look at Clemson this season, after 2 2-0 wins in the state of South Carolina against Villanova and South Carolina themselves, the team most recently traveled to Boston College, losing to the Eagles as we talked about. And for them, really, the next 3 of their 4 next games being against ACC opponents, with Syracuse on schedule, Wake Forest, North Carolina. Those are 3 games for the Tigers that are really going to help shape how they're going to do in the ACC. With really only the one team against BC right now, it's still too early to call, but Wake Forest, a soccer powerhouse to be sure. If they're going to want to make a mark on that conference's play, make a deep tournament run, Wake Forest is the main team standing in front of them right now. And the
Good
goalie for
kick
Clemson
there.
way out of his box. Little out of position, still comes back, makes the save, eventually claims the ball. That was probably the first, you would say, freshman moment for the goalie of the game, just coming a little too aggressively out of his box. Jack Poland not necessarily able to make the most of that moment, and he would eventually claim that. And controversy now from the UMass side of the fans as another player for Clemson goes down, and a yellow card has been issued to the Minutemen. For all of you who do not know the NCAA soccer overtime rules, the big ticket items to know: 2 10-minute periods with a sudden victory possibility, similar to the golden goal. You score, overtime's over, you get the W. If they're still tied at the end of both overtime periods, as this is a regular season NCAA game, not a postseason NCAA game, it can end in a draw. And a rocket there by Jack Fulton, off just to the left side. Good power, good placement, just a bit to one side. The wrong side of the net. Maybe that's helping the Minutemen, and he's on the ball again. With numbers.
Here he comes.
Can he take it himself? McPherson with the shot. And the pace of Yosuke almost there would have done it for UMass. Dylan Cranmer, but nothing will happen there. As Yosuke with the footwork and the speed, and just in front of the UMass player. The ref is making sure the Clemson player has the proper place for his throw-in. If there's one thing this ref has been adamant on, it's throw-in placement. If someone's trying to inch forward, the ref will wait and make sure to play that back. And that ball just barely safely.
Right,
that ball bounced very dangerously. That's probably the first time we've seen Trey Miller not at 100% on his placement. I am Nick McGann saying so long from Rudfield, where the final score after a double overtime thriller, 0-0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streamed live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day, folks.